We know it's a razor-thin margin in the House. Stefanik is staying. We know that, Randy Fine has his special election tomorrow in Florida, 2 elections. So talk to us about Wisconsin. When you see Elon out there and he is really connecting with people, and I heard some of the Q&A last night, people are looking at him as someone who's not an insider, and if he's willing to put his money where his mouth is, and even, be a little, of course, funny with the cheese hat. But this seems like a winning strategy for this race. But ultimately, where do you think it will go, Congressman?
From my understanding, it is a very razor-thin race, and it could go either way. This race is extremely important because the Democrat who's running has been very vocal about how that they will gerrymander and try to eliminate a couple Republican members of Congress there in Wisconsin. And if you lose two members, the Democrats will control the House of Representatives. We currently have 218 seats. If you lost 2, that'd put us at 216, put the Democrats at 217. That is a huge problem.
Yeah, and especially, I know, there's so much in President Trump's agenda that you are putting together. We'll get to that in just a moment. But I do want to talk to you about, one of the things there, obviously, was she put in her report there was about Bernie Sanders, the fear-mongering. A lot of the fear-mongering is also coming into play when you hear about tariffs. But Liberation Day is coming. President Trump addressed it just a few hours ago when he was on Air Force One. I want to play this and get your reaction on the other side.
They ripped us off like no country's ever been ripped off in history. And we're going to be much nicer than they were to us, but it's substantial money for the country, nevertheless.
So there you have it. This is the plan. It's happening. As chairman of House Ways and Means, you obviously understand, the fiscal reason that President Trump wants this. But obviously some are feeling a little bit uneasy, and it doesn't help when legacy media, of course, is reporting that this is the worst thing ever for a lot of people who are saying, but isn't this great for manufacturing and bringing back businesses and making it made in America, perhaps?
This is all about fairness, without a doubt. The president campaigned on this with his frustration of how American manufacturers were being taken advantage of by our trading allies, our friends and neighbors who were supposed to be friends and neighbors who haven't been acting like friends and neighbors. The non-tariff barriers that a lot of areas, such as the European Union, does on U.S. farmers and U.S. manufacturers is absolutely unacceptable. And what the president will do on Wednesday is exactly what he campaigned on. He's just fulfilling his campaign promises, and 77 million Americans voted for this. He also wants to make sure our supply chains are strongly addressed, whether it's pharmaceuticals, whether it's energy, whether it's food, making sure we're securing our supply chains. And these are just all avenues to do that. These countries, if you look at it, a recent study of 132 different countries of over 600,000 products provided that the U.S. exporters, two-thirds of them, had higher tariffs than other countries. That's not playing by the rules. And these countries have been taking advantage of the United States for a long time. It's time that we push back. The prior administration was completely out to lunch when it came to trade policy. So thankful that we have President Trump leading on the world stage in this area.
Final question, Congressman, is there's a lot going on behind the scenes, a lot of meetings that you'll be involved in this week with Speaker Johnson and others on the Senate as well to hash out, the tax bill. Can you get something done before Easter? Because it seems like Senate Republicans are eyeing a vote on a budget resolution, but it differs. What is your message today to Americans who have obviously heard no taxes on tip and heard all these things and are hoping that, with control of the Congress, you'll be able to make a deal and make this happen?
Well, the House Republicans are on standby. We passed the budget resolution over a month ago. Looking forward to the Senate passing a budget resolution that addresses the expiring tax provisions, and then we can hit the pedal to the metal. We are ready in the House for the House Ways and Means Committee to deliver tax relief for American families. We need to make sure that we prevent the largest tax increase in the history of America from taking effect.